Hey there, and welcome back to Bites of Italy, your go-to journey into the real flavors of Italy. I'm Scotty, and I'm here with my awesome co-host, Natalie.
Hey everyone, we're so excited because today marks episode 12 of our journey, and trust us, it's going to be delicious.
Today we're heading back to one of our favorite Roman neighborhoods, Testaccio.
That's right. And we're not just listing restaurants. We want to share the actual experiences, the places that really clicked for us.
If you're craving authentic Roman food experiences that go way beyond the touristy stuff, you're in the right place.
So grab your appetite because we are about to dive into some unforgettable eats. Let's get started.
Testaccio. It just has this vibe. It's not where you'll find, hordes snapping selfies by the Colosseum.
No gladiators hanging around?
No, but it's surprisingly central actually and really easy to get to. Metro, trams, buses, they all go there.
We took the Metro B line, which was super simple.
Dead easy. We got off the Metro and stumbled upon the Pyramid of Cestius, a 36-meter-high marble and brick tomb built for Gaius Cestius, a 1st century BCE magistrate.
Yeah, it's really cool to think about Testaccio's history. This wasn't just, built as a place for apartments. Way back, think 193 BCE, this was the port of ancient Rome, the Emporium, the main port. So all the essentials, olive oil, wine, fish grain, everything that basically formed Roman cooking was flowing right into the spot. And all these things were brought in big clay jars, amphoras. So picture centuries of these things being used, shipped, maybe dropped.
What happened to all the broken ones? They must have had mountains of them.
Well, they didn't just scatter them. They had a designated spot, and over hundreds of years, all those broken pieces piled up and literally formed Il Monte Testaccio, a hill made of pottery shards.
The Mountain of Shards is pretty big too, like 35 meters high.
And the name of the Testaccio district comes straight from the Latin word for potsherd.
That's incredible. It's almost like edible archaeology.
Kind of. And it gets better because all those terracotta fragments created natural insulation. The base of the hill stayed cool. So what did people do?
Let me guess, store wine and other goods.
You got it. They carved out little cellars. They call them grottini. And lots of these are now restaurants. We actually ate in one of them.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
But the food story there doesn't stop in ancient times. Jump forward to, say, the late 19th century. Industry moves in, and critically, the city's main slaughterhouse was nearby. So, lots of working-class families moved into Testaccio. The old slaughterhouse is still standing and makes an amazing space for the Mattatoio, a contemporary art gallery. So Testaccio is sort of the birthplace, or at least a key place for Rome's Cucina Povera, the cuisine of the poor.
Because they used everything, even the less desirable cuts, the stuff the wealthy didn't want, the entrails, what they called the Quinto Quarto, the 5th quarter, which we've mentioned twice in previous episodes, and they turned it into these incredibly rich, flavorful dishes.
Before we jump in, it's worth mentioning that Testaccio's unique culinary heritage can be captured at the renowned Cucina dal 1887, one of the oldest restaurants in Rome. Originally established to serve the neighborhood's growing working-class community, Cucina grew over time into a fine dining establishment.
But you know us, we always recommend exploring a bit off the beaten path. So today we're shining a light on some slightly less obvious but totally unforgettable places to eat.
And just a heads up, all of the restaurants we're recommending today have the Roman classics on their menus. Artichokes, the 4 musketeers of Roman cuisine, trippa romana, and pontarelle we talked about in previous episodes.
Those staples are there for sure. But today, we're focusing on some other very unique Roman dishes that you might not hear about unless you really dig a little deeper.
Absolutely. So let's get into it. First up on our list is a spot called Flavio al Velavevodetto.
Even the name has a bit of personality, doesn't it? It translates to "I told you so," which kind of suggests a certain confidence in what they're doing.
Like, we know it's good.
Exactly. And it's perfectly located too, nestled right on the slopes of that fascinating Monte Testaccio hill we were just talking about.
And in some parts of the restaurant there are glass walls, so that while you dine, you can literally see the layers of ancient amphorae embedded in the walls. Such a unique atmosphere.
That's just wow. Definitely not something you find everywhere.
What surprised me was how spacious it actually felt inside. They've got a few different rooms, and even a really nice outdoor seating area. Perfect for nice weather.
Nice ambiance. And there's a bit of a story behind it too, right? The owner, Flavio de Maio,
Yes, opening this place was a true passion project for him, like he really chased a dream.
Flavio is his whole philosophy, his approach to food. He is really committed to using top-notch ingredients and respecting tradition and what is seasonal.
And the menu says there is no rush in our restaurant. I love it.
Yeah, it really tells you something about the experience they want you to have.
Let's talk about food. Here you can always count on real gems of Roman cuisine, including a large selection of Quinto Quarto dishes, rich in flavors and very generous in portions.
We've got a few specific dishes we'd really recommend checking out. First off, le polpette al sugo, just classic Roman meatballs in this rich tomato sauce.
I noticed that meatballs are a very popular dish in Rome with a long history and many variations. We have already talked about fried, grilled. Today we have meatballs and tomato sauce.
So simple, but so good. It's like pure comfort food, right?
Quintessentially Roman. And then there's the Fettina panata. Think of it as the Roman answer to the much more famous cotoletta alla milanese. It's basically a breaded and pan-fried thin slice of steak. It's not fancy, but it's really satisfying.
Order the sautéed chicory with garlic, oil, and chili pepper as a side dish, and you're in heaven.
And you absolutely have to save room for dessert here. Trust us, you need to try the Ciambellini al vino rosso d'Anzio.
Homemade wine cookies. The wine comes from the coastal areas near Rome, and these cookies have this wonderful, unique flavor profile. Really different.
And hey, for anyone who appreciates good wine, Flavio has a really extensive list, like seriously long. And they even let you, which I think is cool, go down to the cellar and pick out a bottle yourself.
It's a really nice kind of personal touch. But honestly, their house wine is also great. Really good value.
That's often the way to go, isn't it?
Totally. Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting. On their menu, they have this whole section called We Don't Serve.
It's actually quite funny, but also very informative.
They explicitly say, no pasta Alfredo, no bolognese, no lasagna.
Right, and their reasoning is spot on. Pasta bolognese and lasagna are dishes from the Emilia-Romagna region way up north. Not Roman at all. And fettuccine Alfredo, the true symbol of Italian cuisine for Americans, is practically unknown in Italy.
Exactly. Not traditional Roman cuisine. So you simply won't find them in an authentic Roman place. It really speaks to that strong Italian pride in regional food.
Totally. And then there's the whole spaghetti with meatballs thing.
Ah yes, the classic American Italian dish.
Which they are crystal clear about. Meatballs are never served with spaghetti as one dish in Italy.
No, they're their own thing. A secondo, a main course enjoyed separately.
And finally, the big one, the cappuccino rule.
Oh yeah, don't mess with this one.
They state it very clearly. No cappuccino in the afternoon. Period.
Why is that again?
Well, according to Italian custom, it's really considered a breakfast drink because of all the milk. It's seen as too heavy for later in the day. After midday, it's all about the cafe.
Just a shot of espresso, right? The quick hit.
It really highlights how important it is to, understand the local food customs when you travel.
Good advice.
Okay, let's move on to our second recommendation, Agustarello a Testaccio. This place has a bit of a different vibe altogether.
Definitely more low-key. This is a serious local favorite when it comes to experiencing true, down-to-earth Roman cuisine.
Absolutely. Agustarello has been a fixture in Testaccio since 1957. It's a real institution. It really captures that welcoming, sociable spirit of a traditional Roman osteria. That neighborhood feel.
And it's known for its ultra-orthodox Testaccio cuisine, red Quinto Quarto for awful devourers, the more adventurous eaters.
Historically, this was a huge part of Roman cooking, especially in a district like this where the slaughterhouses were.
Right? It makes sense.
And the atmosphere inside, it's definitely more homely than fancy. Think friendly, no frills service. Tables are pretty close together.
Yeah, cozy. The kind of place where you might actually end up chatting with the people at the next table. They do have some outdoor seating in the summer, which is nice.
Now, here's a really important thing to know about Agustarello. Most people just go there directly and queue, so you'll want to get there early, probably right when they open, and just be prepared to potentially wait in line for a bit.
But hey, that's kind of part of the whole experience there, isn't it?
Totally. It adds to the authenticity.
And their menu reflects tradition. It's short, seasonal ingredients, recipes passed down through generations in the Comentucci family. Very Roman, with a definite emphasis on those awful dishes we mentioned.
And there's something special for pasta lovers.
Yes, you absolutely have to consider the Rigatoni alla Pajata.
Break it down for us, please.
Rigatoni is a short cylindrical pasta of Roman origin. Pajata is a very traditional sauce made from milk-fed calf intestines, tomatoes, and pecorino romano cheese. They create a very traditional, quite old-school Roman dish you won't find on every menu anymore, even in Rome.
It's just wow. It's definitely something to try if you're feeling a bit adventurous and want to taste a real piece of Roman culinary history.
But even if Offal isn't really your thing, there are still fantastic choices like abbacchio alla romana, Roman-style roast lamb, a spring delicacy on Roman tables.
We ate this delicious meat again with chicory, which is essential in Rome. This time, it was prepared alla, which simply means with lemon juice and olive oil.
And for dessert at Agustarello, just follow the locals' lead. Order a slice of their simple homemade crostata cake, which is similar to a jam tart.
And have it with a strong espresso. It's the perfect no-fuss way to finish a truly traditional Roman meal.
Sounds good. And what about drinks at Agustarello?
Stick with the house wine. Don't even worry about looking at a wine list here. Our recommendation is just asking for a carafe of the house, red or white wine.
It's the authentic choice, and it'll go perfectly with whatever hearty Roman food you order.
Now, our final stop in Testaccio for today is Piatto Romano restaurant, which means Roman plate. You can find this one near the beautiful fountain of the Amphoras. Another nod to the area's history.
And the ambiance at Piatto Romano?
The welcome you get is really friendly and down to earth. It's kind of cool inside, it's quite minimalist, sort of modern looking, and they also have these really inviting outdoor tables that look just perfect for enjoying a meal outside when the weather's good.
This place offers a slightly different feel again. They emphasize genuine hospitality and straightforward delicious dishes, maybe with a little nod to other regional Italian flavors here and there, not just Roman.
A little variety.
Which can be a nice way to try something a little different while still having that solid Roman base.
Speaking of a solid Roman base, the menu includes classics like Rigatoni alla Pajata, as well as several weekly specials that really tie into Roman culinary traditions. Like they serve gnocchi on Thursdays and fish dishes on Fridays. Those are the traditional days for that in Rome.
Among fish dishes, I especially recommend their slow-cooked cod bacala served with dried fruits and onions. It's an interesting combination, very traditional in parts of Italy.
They also take real pride in their homemade bread and desserts. Homemade bread is always a plus.
And they even have a wood-fired oven. They use it for some of their dishes, including, get this, a ricotta and sour cherry cake. That sounds amazing, doesn't it?
Divine. But what really caught my attention was the focus on seasonal vegetables and wild greens. They have a really extensive selection, and their menu changes daily based on what's fresh and good at the market. So there's always something new and vibrant to try.
That sounds fantastic. Any specific examples of vegetable-based dishes?
First, there's the Vignarola Romana, a wonderful springtime vegetable stew available in various versions all around Rome. You can have it as a starter, maybe tossed with pasta, side dish, or even as a light main course.
Very versatile.
It's just like spring on a plate. Their version includes fresh peas, tender artichokes, crisp lettuce, and sweet fava beans, all brought together with little salty bits of crispy guanciale.
Oh, that pork cheek again. That makes everything better. And the other one?
There is also something truly unique, perhaps even unusual: fried borage flowers.
It was something we had never seen before, although our Roman friends say it's just another springtime tradition in Rome.
Borage has this delicate, almost cucumber-like taste and makes pretty star-shaped blue flowers in the spring. Here they were dipped in a light, almost tempura-like batter and served hot and crispy with some roasted pears alongside.
And the staff is passionate about the food and the wine they're serving. They have a pretty extensive wine list, actually, with some great quality selections from different parts of Italy, not just Lazio. So there are options if you want something specific.
Okay, time to wrap up our tasty little tour of Testaccio. We started at Flavio al Velavevodetto, a truly vibrant restaurant in an amazing historic setting with a real sense of tradition and true classic Roman dishes.
Then we explored Agustarello a Testaccio, a super authentic no-frills osteria. It's that whole package: comfortable, unpretentious atmosphere, a truly traditional menu, and a sense of community. Very local.
And finally, we ended up at Piatto Romano, which offers this fantastic balance. You know, classic Roman cooking, but with amazing vegetables that sometimes steal the show, plus great wine and a really warm, welcoming vibe from the staff.
These three great restaurants have one thing in common. They are places where the locals actually eat.
Bottom line, if you're going to Rome and you want to taste something beyond the standard stuff you see everywhere, you've got to make time for Testaccio.
You really do. It's where you find that genuine Roman food soul. You know, the kind of meal you'll actually talk about when you get back home.
Thanks so much for joining us on this delicious adventure.
If you enjoyed this episode of Bites of Italy, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our foodie journeys.
Yeah, subscribing really helps support the show, and you'll be the first to know when new episodes drop.
Speaking of episodes, we've got a little update. From now on, we'll be releasing a new episode every 2 weeks instead of every week.
That's right. This gives us more time to really explore, dig deeper, and uncover even more authentic, off-the-beaten-path spots to recommend to you.
We want each episode to be packed with amazing finds and real stories. So thanks for sticking with us as we take a little more time to make each one the best it can be. And next time, we're switching things up and heading north.
We're off to beautiful, magical Venice. And trust us, the food scene there is full of surprises you won't want to miss.
So stay tuned, and until then, keep dreaming and eating Italian.
Ciao!